Let's go.
Some sympathetic words from your counterpart about the fact that it's been 2 down early, and I think you mentioned you had a pretty sore third that right against you very early on.
Yeah, look, it was, and I think the boys were very good for 60 minutes, but maybe even a little bit longer. 80 minutes of the game, our players played very well, but the last quarter and a half was, very, very disappointing.
Is there anything more than condition? The fact that you were just on a hot day, unseasonal hot day, that you were just spent?
I don't think the hot day has anything to do with it at all. I think that we played against a team who are physically a lot further along the path. They're better than we are, they're stronger than we are, and physically more able than we are, and they're just a better football team than we are. I think the score probably, I thought we were a little bit closer than that, but when Collingwood get hold of you, it's very hard to stop their onslaught, and they were terrific today, probably after quarter time.
How much you put it down to sort of losing these players and expectations?
A little bit. I mean, we lost 2 runners, which is always disappointing. You lose Collier and Prismal, who are 2 of our best runners in our team. But as disappointing as it was to lose them, and as good as it was to hang in the game for as long as for that extra quarter and a half, that's offset by the disappointing nature and way we finished the game. And we should have hung in there a little bit better than what we did at the end.
Well, 3/4 time, your huddle looked like a good old-fashioned. Except for no tarpaulin, was it just a fact that the players were very tired and just run out of rotations?
Yeah, look, in this day and age, there's no doubt that when you run out of rotations, it's very hard to compete when you're playing, particularly when you're playing a team like Collingwood. But I would have liked to have seen us compete and stay in the game longer than what we did, even given the circumstances, because whether you're winning or lose, and we've been very much this year about improvement, you learn a lot from yourself, about yourself and your team, when you hang in games and you keep working. And I just think that maybe towards the end we could have hung in there a little bit better.
Did they turn it up for want of a better word?
No, I don't think. No, the team we've got and the group of boys we've got didn't turn it up, but they ran out of puff, and Collingwood beat us up a bit in that last quarter.
You take heart from the fact that when we were close to full strength and the players were fresh, you actually said if you'd have a game that was working on the day?
Yeah, look, there's no doubt. I think we've improved a lot, and the first 2.5 quarters show that when we play the type of football we want to play, we're very competitive. But there's some particular passages of play in the third quarter where we didn't use the ball the way we like our players to use it, and when we don't use it and give the ball back to Collingwood, they really hurt you. So as much as the score blew out, as much as we had injuries, there's a bit of the third quarter that we need to go back and have a look at, particularly early, and work out why we played that way and why we didn't play the way that we'd been playing for the first 2 quarters.
What about Paddy Ryder's game? What was he using in defence?
Yeah, I played a fair bit of football with Paddy down back. I mean, Sheeds used him there early in his career, and we always knew he could play him there, and we probably would have used him there earlier in the year, except Kyle Harding. And we actually trained him a lot at St back early in the year, but Kyle was playing pretty well there, so we decided to go forward and in the ruck. And that's the great thing with Paddy, is he can play back, forward, ruck, even play on the wing. So he gets criticised occasionally for his efforts, but I thought his effort today was outstanding.
Could you give us a bit of a rundown of the medical report of what you know?
How long you got? How long you got? Brent Prismal likely to have an ACL. There might be some hope that he's stressed it rather than they're not absolutely definite on it. Travis Collier likely broken ankle, but there's still a little bit of hope there. And then there's just knocks and bruises and cramp and typical stuff you get in a game which shouldn't keep players out for next week. But those 2 have the potential to be season-ending injuries. He hyperextended his elbow, but he's fine. Yeah, he's fine. Yeah, Kyle got a pretty significant corky in the first 10 minutes of the game, so he did very well to stay out there and hang in the game and play as well as he did for 3.5 quarters. There's plenty of sore boys in there, but more their egos, I think, rather than their bodies.
So Mick Gold has said this was present in his mind why the new rules of regression. You've had 3/4 of the season of experience of it now. Do you have any thoughts about that?
think the game's harder than it ever was, and you need players, as many players as you can to play this game out. And that's not me as a coach, so you can make tactical moves. That's looking after the players. And I think that whichever rule they come up with needs to look after the health and welfare of the players and make sure that we're getting players through seasons and games, and when players are hurt, we don't have to send them out in the field hurt. And I think that's the priority. So I'd rather make that comment than any further.
Preference on what you'd like to see the bench be?
8 or 9, 10 maybe, as big as possible.
Just under normal circumstances, would a guy like Cunningham, you would just take him off?
We probably would have had him off, yeah. Yep.
James, just wondering, the months to go, you're going to get a few players back. How do you feel? You're on the cusp, you certainly see the results more or less went your way, except for today's result. Just how are you feeling going up to the sort of run into the final?
As much as we've spoken about this year, it is about improvement. And we think we've got a massive game against Sydney. I think in the context of both of the side seasons, this is a crunch game, if you want to call it, against Sydney on Saturday night. And if we come out and play the game the way we should play it, then we're a chance to win the game. I think we're a legitimate chance to win that game, and then we assess it after that. We hope to get players back, but the way the season's been going, we haven't been getting players back. We've been losing them rather than getting them back. So we'll assess during the week, and we'll move on to Sydney almost straight away and concentrate on them coming off the bye a bit fresh. So we'll have to get ourselves up in 6 days.
Who are you likely to get back?
It's anything between all of Fletcher, Hurley, Hocking and Pears, and Nathan Lovett-Murray to none of them. So we'll just, and I know I'm not trying to avoid the question. We've got to see how they go in the middle of the week, and we won't be playing anyone who's sore, but hopefully all or at least a couple of those guys will come up. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.